One of the biggest differences on driving the trucks, especially at high speeds, is the suspension system. So on the standard Traxxas, when it comes out of the box, we're seeing a progressive spring. I've got an old set here. Short on the top, long in the middle, short on the bottom again. So what happens is there's not a whole lot of effort or force to actually compress, but then you compress much further down, it takes more. They call it progressive because it's not the same amount of force as you're working through the entire spring. I found that actually is quite annoying, so on the rear I actually replaced it with the Traxxas white spring. And the white spring on the back here has actually got the same tension all the way across. And this white spring with a good spacer in it here and a little weight on the nose, even though this truck could flip itself over with wheelies, it keeps the back end nice and stiff so that it jumps off the line without throwing the front end up. To help modify on the back of my stock truck, I took a second set of springs and then mounted them across the back corner position of the A-arm at an angle up using the same shoulder pin as the front to connect to the back. The only thing I'm noticing is as this compresses, I actually am rubbing across the drivetrain along the spring there. So we're going to watch and see how that happens. You can tell used spring, brand new spring. Good in concept, we'll see if it actually works or not. Changing that spring, and also the further out you have your springs, the better you're going to be for control and maneuverability, the worse you'll be actually for impact landing. The more vertical that your springs are, the more up and down motion you'll have, but the more likely you will be to roll. I've noticed now with these, and also across the front with the big spacer, that as I come around some big corners, I will actually be diving down and lifting up my back tire, giving all my power on this side, wearing that wheel a bit unevenly, but I'm not flipping anymore. I'm rolling fast through those corners. Much, much more effective. So I would definitely recommend getting rid of the progressive springs, especially on the back, going to the white. The red spring is actually a little bit softer. The white is nice and firm. Will do a good job as far as giving you plenty of support, but also keeping that front end tight so it'll actually move forward.